Okay, in this session we're going to be looking at surd involving double brackets. There are two major forms we can work problems like this. The first is the cross multiplication method, and the second is using the grid method. So we're going to start with the cross multiplication method, and I'm going to color code it so we can get a better understanding, visual clarity as well. So here we have four variables, two variables in each bracket. So what we do is we're going to multiply the first variable in the first bracket with the first variable in the second, and the first variable with the second variable. We do the same with the second variable in the first bracket. Multiply by the first variable in the second, and multiply by the second variable in the second. So when we do that, we're going to have m times m gives us m squared, and then m times root n gives us positive m root n. So we'll move on to the second variable here, which is root n, and multiplied by m also gives us positive m root n. Here we have root n multiplied by root n. That gives us n. But just to make it easier, not to confuse anyone, so I'm going to call it root n squared. It's like saying x times x, giving you x squared. That's what I've done here. So let's simplify this further. I'm going to have m squared plus m root n plus m root n gives us 2m root n. And like I explained before, root n squared gives us n. To get a better understanding of squaring surd, refer to previous session on this channel. So looking at this expression, can anything be done further? The answer is no. So if your answer is no, leave your answer the way it is. Okay, the second method is the grid method. We're going to use the same example that we used earlier on. Here we have same four variables, two variables in each bracket. So what we do is you take the variables in the first bracket here in the grid, and the variables in the second bracket here. So this method is quite useful for those who find cross multiplication exhausting. So what we do here is we're going to multiply m and m. It gives us m squared. And we'll multiply m and root n. It gives us m root n. Here we do root n times m. It gives us m root n. And we do root n multiplied root n. It gives us n. Like I said earlier on, root n squared, and that gives us n. So what we do is we concentrate on this part of the grid. We concentrate on this part. So we add all the variables together. We're going to have m squared plus m root n plus m root n, that's the second one here, plus n. And we can find these, you can see these two numbers are summable. So we say m squared here plus, when you add these two variables, we have 2 m root n plus n. So if you have any question, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you.